All right, question 6F. Once again, I'm gonna have to speed this up a little bit because I haven't given myself a ton of room here. But I've got three terms. Okay, and again, my denominators here. There's nothing to factor. Okay, so the common denominator, the least common denominator, is going to be just the product of those two, because x plus 2, x plus 3 don't have anything in common. Okay, there's no common factors. X is not a factor in these things. It's an addend. So I'm going to have to multiply all of that together. Now, just for the sake of expedience here, I'm just like I did in a previous question, I'm going to do the multiplication a little bit quickly here. So for example, for this first term here, I'm going to have to multiply x plus 2 and x plus 3 together, and then multiply that by 2. So this is going to end up being 2x squared, and then it'll be 3x plus 2x, okay, 5x times 2 is plus 10x, 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12. Okay. In this case right here, this is going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3. Sorry, I'm going to multiply the numerator here by these two, so it's going to be x squared plus 3x with a minus out front here. So this is going to end up being, well, it's going to be x times x is going to be x squared times the additional x is x cubed. This will end up being 6x when you multiply the two terms together, add them together. So minus 6x squared, because the negative has to distribute to everything in the numerator. And then this will end up being 9 times x, and again minus 9x. And then our final term here is simply going to be the product of these two and the numerator with the negative distributed through. And so that's again going to give me x squared, but with another x there and the minus, so minus x cubed. This will end up being 4x plus 2x, so 6x with additional x, so minus 6x squared. 4 times 2 is 8, negative, so negative 8x. So just a nice long numerator there. Now, let's put together like terms. I've got two x cubed terms, so that's minus 2x cubed. I've got 2x squared, minus 6x squared, minus 6x squared, so that's really minus 12x squared plus 2, this is going to be minus 10x squared. And then I'm going to have, I'm looking for x terms. I've got 10x minus 9x, so that's going to be just 1x. Minus 8x will be negative 7x. And then I'm looking for just constants here, and all I've got here is the 12. And this is all over x plus 2, x plus 3. Okay? So now, to simplify this, ideally what I would do is I would factor the numerator, but it turns out, and I'll kind of let you know here, you're investigating this, but it turns out there's really nothing common there. There's no common values, there's no x's, and I can tell you right now, grouping won't work. So all we can do now is simply state the non-permissibles, and we get those from the denominator. So 0, negative 2, and negative 3.